Okay, this last question, I have to do it because I've been here and we should talk about it. Okay, here's the question. I am a curvier woman who recently got a call from HR with no prior heads up about how my dresses and skirts are on the shorter side. We do not have a dress code in our employee handbook, and I was told to do business casual. I wear work dresses and formal skirts that I had never had a problem with in my previous corporate roles. They had never spoken to me about this before and couldn't give examples or clear guidelines, just to use my judgment, and that if it makes it easier, you don't have to wear skirts and dresses in the office. I'm embarrassed and feeling helpless. What can I do? Context. Small company, also a nonprofit. Man, we really need to help the nonprofit world. High turnover across 20 plus years. CEO is the only constant.
If it makes it easier for who?
Oh. For this person, obviously.
Oh, of course, because that's why she's chosen to wear dresses and skirts, because it does make it easier for her.
Mm-hmm.
So who's uncomfortable?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look. To whoever wrote this, the first thing I would say is there's a lot you can do, right? You asked, what can you do? There's a lot you can do. But for me, the better question, or the question I would be asking myself, is what can I do that's actually worth doing? Because there are going to be battles and challenges that are just not worthy of you, worthy of your time, worthy of your energy, worthy of your brilliance, worthy of you. And so I would be asking, is what I want to do worthy of me? Aside from that, based on these details, this reeks of bias. I mean, I smell it through the computer screen.
Sniff the BS.
Vague instructions about use your judgment. I'm going to assume she did when she got dressed.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just incredibly unacceptable, especially considering that you don't have a handbook or have anything clearly stated about what is and is not unacceptable. So then the call that was made by HR was based on what and whom? And again, okay, look, okay, I'm just gonna sum this up and then Hebba go, because I can't. Okay. Also, the lack of prior feedback implies the issue is much deeper and it's not about clothing. And also the note about high turnover. For such a small company, 10 to 15 employees, that gives me such strong pause to have such high turnover at a company where you're already at a very low number. So it suggests a much deeper issue that, quite honestly, was never about this employee, but now has become about this employee.
Yeah.
And I'm just not here for it.
I read this question and was triggered because I have a curvier body. Not that I need to tell all of you that, but here we are. And I too have had feedback about, hey, that dress is a little too tight. And it was a very business professional dress. And I was like, what do you mean it's too tight? It literally fits my body just like a normal dress would fit anyone's body. And it really made me uncomfortable at the time. I then started just wearing baggy shirts and baggy pants. And I felt like I wanted to crawl inside my skin and die. And in a society night and day that tries to tell women we're not thin enough, we're not pretty enough, we're not smart enough, I felt so taken aback in the environment I was in. And instead, my version was I just crawled into my skin. And I made sure my shirts were long enough and that they were baggy enough. And I kept buying things one size too big because I just never wanted that attention on me. And I hated it so much. And reading this and hearing that this person feels helpless, I'm so sorry. And that environment is so deeply biased. And there's something probably rotten at its core. And you deserve to wear If there's no dress code to tell you what you can and cannot wear, then you could show up in your bathing suit. If there's no dress code, they can't tell you no. Truthfully. We work from home. You think we're telling people you can't wear pajama bottoms? No, but if they go into an office. And so I just want to say, like, my heart goes out to this person because I've been in that situation. I think a lot of women feel sexualized at work in ways that we wish weren't true, but that we show up to work, and the level of sexual harassment that goes unreported to HR teams is abhorrent. So like, I really feel for this person, and I would anchor back to like what Erica said. Is this even worthy of your time? And if there's no dress code, the burden should not be placed on you to decide what is to use your judgment. That is so fucking whack. So, damn, I'm just mad now.
I know, me too.
Like that just like brings back such bad memories. And I don't know. I've worked in corporate environments where I have felt like women, like as a woman, so unsafe.
Really?
And so I can only imagine that this person probably feels very triggered, very targeted, and very unsafe in their own environment.
I mean, 10 to 15 employees, like, yeah.
No, they need, I would go back to them. So if you're listening to this and this was your question, I would go back to them and say, you need to define the policy in a formal HR handbook. Otherwise, I will continue to wear what I would choose to wear. And you should not feel bad about your skirts and your dresses. You should not.
Until the rules change?
Deeply,
do you?
Until the rules change, you are in fair game and do whatever you want to do.